Hello, this is Jeff Scott of Blackhawk Technical College. I'm coming at you right now with Chapter 4 from our Joomla Beginner's Guide, or Joomla 3 Beginner's Guide by Eric Tigler. Again, I'm retaping all 12 of the lectures, and I'm into Chapter 4, Web Building Basics, Creating a Website in an Hour. And in the last chapter, as mentioned, we basically downloaded Joomla, we set it all up, and we took a tour of it. In this chapter, what we're going to do is try to complete a complete website in the chapter. Now they say in an hour, but come on, let's be real, it won't take an hour, it'll take a lot more than that. As mentioned, this is a perfect opportunity to put the new web building toolkit to the test. So we want to remove the Joomla sample data, customize the site template, add content, create a framework, etc. Then turning on to the next page, add new features, create a contact form, and finish the very first fully functional Joomla-powered website. So ideally, when we get done, it should look something like this. Alright, now, one thing that I have done, just so you know, this is going off script, so to speak, but what I've done is I've come in here and on the code that I gave you for back in September 4th, these are all of the images that the author uses in chapters 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of those right now, copy them to the clipboard. Alright, go into XAMPP, find under htdocs, find my Joomla 2 website, find the images folder, and just drop that in. Alright, so I now have all the information that's in there for chapters 4 through 11. And I'll need the stuff for chapter 4 because, amongst other things, what that's going to have in here, just so you know, is that has my BAM logo, my Corba logo, and some of the beginning pictures that we're going to need to be working with. Alright, so that's now done. Again, my site is right here, and it looks very much like what is shown in the book. And the other one, the administrator side, didn't hit enter yet, but there it is with admin and admin. Alright, so again, I'm going back to the book. I'm on page 69. And they say meet the client. We've talked about this before. Corba, an acronym for Collectors of Really Bad Art. Again, they want the look and feel of the site to fit with the logo and colors on the club stationery. The site should be organized and provide for future expansion. The home page should show a selection of news items. Visitors should be invited to get in touch. In other words, there should be a contact form. Okay, these are all things that we've discussed earlier. So the first thing that we're supposed to do in here is we're supposed to come in and clean up or remove the sample data. So I'm going to follow the steps on page 70, excuse me, 71 and 72 to do this. And again, the author mentions this is a good way of preparing yourself for your first Joomla site. You'll find that stripping the example site gives you some insight into the way Joomla is constructed. Bit by bit, it reveals some of the content. So this is what we're going to do. All right. So it says, let's first remove the sample content, which consists of the actual content, the menu links, and the modules. So again, I'm going to now bounce back into Joomla and follow the steps that are shown again on pages 70, 71, and 72. First thing we're supposed to do is go over to Content, Article Manager. And what we're told to do is above the article listing on the right-hand side, it says, you will notice, the 3 drop-down boxes, Title, Ascending, and 20. Job before this of going and looking at this stuff, but I didn't, so I know I had problems with this before, but hopefully we'll figure it all out. second and try to get my bearings. Okay, I'll be right back. Alright, I am back, and as always, it was pilot error. So I wanted to click articles, and underneath here it says 20. Alright, we want to click that down arrow and change it from 20 to all. Not hard, but now it's done. It says now the full list of example articles is displayed on the page. Select the checkbox at the top of the list just to the left of the title, right there, to check all. And it says click on the trash button in the toolbar. Joomla should show a message saying that the articles have been trashed, which it did. When articles are in the trash, they're still in Joomla's database should you wish to restore them. However, you won't be needing these again. So to permanently destroy them, in the Select Status drop-down, on the left-hand side of the screen, select Trashed. All empty articles are displayed on the page. Again, select the articles. And now click Empty Trash. All the articles have been deleted. Now remove the sample categories. There are containers. These are containers for articles that no longer exist. So they're saying to navigate over to Content Category Manager. Make sure that all the categories are displayed. So again, I want to click in here and choose All. Alright, in the drop-down box indicating the number of displayed articles, select All. Tick the top row checkbox to select all the categories. Deselect just one category, and that is uncategorized. So we should have clicked here to select them all, and then unclicked on uncategorized. Alright, click on Trash again. Again, we see a message saying now the 23 categories have been successfully trashed. So again, we want to come in here, and we want to select Status, and go to Trashed. Alright, to permanently delete all categories, select Trashed, and then tell it to empty the trash. It says we must make a selection from the list. I thought I did. There's all of them, and again, uncategorized. Now it says, according to this at least, we've got just in categorize. That's good. That's what we want. So, search tools, select status, trashed. Okay, empty trash. Please make a selection from the list. I think that is everything. So let's empty the trash. Okay. All right. Look at the front end of the site now, they're saying. So let's refresh. And as mentioned, you'll notice the content has been removed except for the menus, the login, and the search. All right, looking good right now. In the example, the site header shows the current site name. If you followed along, this will be Corba. Well, I didn't. Yes, I guess I do have that. All right. If you want to change the site name displayed in the header, you can do this by navigating over to System. If we wanted to do that, we don't have to, but System, Global Configuration, Site Settings, Site Name, but it already is set. So we could have reset it by there if we had wanted to do that. So let's just cancel out of there. All right, step 2, page 73, deleting menus and other modules. Apart from articles and categories, the example site contains menus and modules. Actually, menus are modules too, more in Chapter 8. Because much of the example menus are redundant, for our goal, we'll delete them. Not to worry, we can always create them as needed. We'll just delete the specific instances of menus that were used in the example site. So now they want us to go to Menus, Menu Manager, select all 3 example menus we won't be needing. In other words, we want to select the About Joomla, the Australian Parks, and the Fruit Shop. Alright, do not select Main Menu. Do not select Top. And do not select User Menus. Alright, so just Joomla, About Joomla, Australian Parks, and Fruit Shop. Click on the Delete button. A warning message appears. Click OK to confirm that you want to remove these. Alright. You'll see a confirmation message that the 3 have been removed, meaning we have just these 3 left on the screen. Although we'll keep the main menu, we don't need the redundant links it contains. The only link we need to keep is to the home link, as it's necessary for any Joomla site to function properly. It says you know the drill for now. Alright, as the steps are comparable to those needed to remove articles. So we again want to navigate to Menus, Main Menu. Alright. Select all of them, and then unselect Home because we don't want to select that one. Click on Trash to delete them. We've got the 10 menu items were successfully deleted. So again, we want to select Status, Trashed, tell it to empty the trash. Okay, which now we want to remove all of these. Empty trash. So now if we go back to our example site again and refresh, you'll notice that's all that's left in here. Just the home and the login form. So it's looking really good. What I see in here right now is the same thing I see at page 75 on the book, in the book. All right, let's jump back into the book, that said, and we'll jump over here to page 74. All right, have a go hero, cleaning out a list of modules. The example site contains many examples of modules that are redundant for our own site. You probably haven't seen them all in action, as most are only shown basically as needed. By deleting modules, you just throw away the specific instance of these modules, not the module itself. The module deletion drill will seem familiar by now. In short, in the extensions drop-down, click on Module Manager. The Module Manager displays a list of modules that are in use. Make sure all are displayed. In the select box, select all. We did that. Click the select box to the left of the status heading to select all of them. Now deselect generic modules that we'll be using for our own site. Make sure to keep this site, top, user menu, search, login form, and breadcrumbs. So let's double check this. We should have deselected this site. So let's look at the ones that are not checked anymore. There's this site. Top. User menu. Search. Login form. And breadcrumbs. Alright, let's double check one last time and make sure that all the ones that we selected have a position. As far as I can tell, that's okay. So now I can click delete. Actually, click trash. 38 modules were successfully trashed, and those are the ones that are left. I can again think everything is okay. Go back to home, refresh. Alright, there we go. Now it looks the way it does on page 75 of the book. Okay, we've got just this, our search, this site, our login form. As far as I can tell, everything looks good. After you've deleted all the modules, you don't need using the trash button. Have a look at the results. The results are impressive. As it says, we're left with a blank canvas suitable for our new site. Okay, so that's what we start on page 75. I'm going to do a little bit of this. I'm already behind, but I'm going to go until students start coming in, which should be around 20 minutes or so. Since we now have a blank canvas, the site is empty and there's no content, just the basic layout elements. For the rest of the chapter, you'll add new content to replace the content we've just deleted. We'll do this in 3 steps. Step 1, customize the layout by tweaking the layout to fit our needs. Step 2, design a structure for the content, adding articles that will fit the content framework. And step 3, adding any other extras such as a contact form or a content block drawing attention to some specific content. So let's see if we can at least get done with step 1 here, which is customizing the layout. So I'm on page 76 in the book. The author mentions here that Joomla allows you to edit the current template using the template manager. In this case, we'll replace the logo by your client's logo and tweak the header text a little bit. First, they say let's make a copy of the current template. If you remember this, we're working with ProStar, but we're going to make a ProStar copy and work on that for the rest of the thing that we're working with. Again, that's good in case you screw it up, so you've got the original to go back to. You should always be working with a copy. So to create a copy, go to Extensions, Template Manager, click Templates in the submenu on the left-hand side, click on the link ProStar Details and Files, you're taken to the Template Manager, Customize Template screen, click on the Copy button, enter a name such as ProStar_copy, which is what I will call it, the same thing they're expecting you to call it in the book. Click Copy Template in the pop-up screen. Pop-up closes. Now click Close to return to the template screen. Finally, switch to the Template Manager Styles screen by clicking the Styles link in the menu on the left-hand side. Here you can set the new template to be your default. Click on the white star next to ProStar Copy Default to make this the new template. And you can see, hopefully it changed from ProStar Default to ProStar Copy Default. Alright, so we just used Joomla's built-in template copying machine to create an exact copy of the template we wanted to change. We now left the original alone, so we can now safely change settings and code of the copy template without worrying about them being overridden on the original. Alright, so it's time to start to customize this copy a little bit. We'll start by creating the new logo image and adding it to the template. So I'm on page 77. On the page it says, let's first create a new logo image. Now they go through here how you can create an image on page 77 and on page 78 and on page 79. I'm using the one that the author has created, so the stuff that's on steps 1 through 4 on page 77 is now, for lack of better words, it's moot. Alright. Now, I'm going to pick it up on page 78, step number 6. In the next screen, choose a location on your computer and click Save Again. Your logo image is ready. Like it's step 7. In the back end of the Joomla site, you can now upload and activate the new logo image file. So, click on Extensions, Template Manager. The current default template is again ProStar Copy. Click on the ProStar Copy default link. Again, I'm following. I'm on step 8 on page 78. Click on the Options tab. Well, it's advanced here. Alright. You'll see a logo option that allows you to select a logo image file. Click Select. And an image, a pop-up window appears. Alright. So we want to be able to select the one that we had, which again is under Chapter 4. Problems with this before, so what I may have to do to get this to work right, because I had to do this once before, so let me go back and do what I did before. And that is to go back in here. It didn't seem to like it when I had stuff in folders. Now maybe yours worked okay and I'm just doing something wrong, or maybe I'm just ignorant to the process. Joomla 2, Images, Chapter 4. I'm just going to grab all these, copy, and I'm going to drop them back out here. Alright, so there they are. So let me go through the steps again. Okay, so select. Alright, there's the Corba logo. Insert. There it is now. Okay. I'm just again following the steps. I'm on the bottom of page 11, step 11, page 78. For the title, enter Corba. For the description, enter collectors of really bad art. So let's see. You've got a different template color shown here in the book than the one I've shown. Oh, actually it's the same. They're just using a triplet. Okay. That's the same. That's the same. Corba collectors of really bad art. So far as I can tell, it looks okay. Alright. So I'm going to say save and close. And I'm going to go back and view my site. And there it is. Alright, as you can see, the new logo and tagline both appear just as expected. Now, on page 80 in the book, what they had done in there, if you remember this from earlier, what they've done is they said if you want, you can also use Pixlr, and they explain the steps for doing that. Again, I don't have to because now I have the author's actual logo in there. Alright, so I'm up to page 81 in the book. for action, tweaking the design details. As it says here, maybe you're happy with the template as it is now that you personalize the logo, but in many cases you'll want to do even more. To do this, you can edit the CSS files in the program. Alright, as an example, we'll change the style of the tagline text. Right now it's pretty small and inconspicuous, so we'll make it bigger and we'll make it bolder. Alright, so jumping back, so they're talking about the text that's in here. Alright, so again, close that now. Jumping back into extensions, template manager. I'm following the steps on page 81. And click the templates menu link on the left hand side. Kind of gone through this before. Click on the ProStar Copy Details and Files link. Again, we've done this before. This will take you to a screen showing the editable files. Alright, and under CSS you'll see that there is template.css, and I double clicked on that and it brings it up. So they want us to add the following code at the beginning of the site, which is what I'm going to do right now. Again, these are things that technically wouldn't have to be done that we're putting in there, and we're putting in there for lack of better words, for aesthetic reasons. Okay, so I've added that. They mention on the bottom of the page, to clarify, silver indicates that the text should have a gray color. Font size says it should be bigger than the original value. Bold means just that. And padding left 104 pixels means the tagline should be placed 104 pixels from its starting position to align it at least somewhat with the logo text. Alright, so they say click on Save and Close, which I just did. And they want us to go back and look at the site. Now I haven't changed it yet, but notice once I refresh, alright, those are now lined up, and that's now in silver. So, what just happened? The new look of the site is beginning to take shape. We replaced the original logo image and added a few lines of CSS in the current Joomla template. They talk about CSS in the book on the bottom of page 82, but this is just a short little primer, and they say that in chapter 11 we're going to go over it more. Okay? Alright. The author says here on the middle of page 83, as you've seen, there are different ways to influence the look and feel of the current template. The first way is by using options built into the template. The second way is by editing the template style sheet. Just trying to figure out here whether I'll have enough time to finish the next section before students start coming in, and it looks like it probably is going to be no. So what we do want to do next is we want to start adding some content. Alright, I will come back and continue on this part 2 of this lecture tomorrow. As far as I can tell though right now, the site is looking good. It's looking the way it should look, as opposed to the way I made it look when we were in class. So again, hopefully any of you who are having problems can go back and look at these videos. I hope to get done with chapter 4 this week, and ideally I'd like to get through chapter 6 this week, and then through chapter 9 next week, and then finish it. So by the beginning of November this will be totally done. Okay? Alright, that's all that I have then for today.